Ravens fans, it seems like the dreams of a Jadeveon Clowney rumor could be coming true soon because according to multiple sources, the Jadeveon Clowney reunion is picking up steam. We're going to break that all down on today's show. Of course, Tom Pelissero is the one who broke the news yesterday, just around noon, that the Panthers are releasing Jadeveon Clowney. Thank you for the gift, Carolina. I'll gladly take him. Make sure you guys hit that sub button, okay? We're going to break down everything that's going to happen, possibly with Jadeveon Clowney, what that could look like, how he could fit into this defense in 2025. But before we get into that, I got to bring light because we talked about it even this morning. Unfortunately, the Chiefs report had a much better afternoon, okay? They're up 31 subs. That's not good enough, ladies and gentlemen, okay? If you hate the Kansas City Chiefs just as much as I do, then do one thing for me. Hit that subscribe button, lock us in, and it's great for you as well because you get daily coverage of your favorite team every single day. That's exactly what daily means. To beat the Chiefs, to lock us in right now, hit that sub button. Alrighty, so could Baltimore make a swing for Jadeveon Clowney just a couple days after he was released? John Frascella usually covers the New York Giants, has around 100,000 Twitter followers. And I asked our Giants Now host if he was a reputable source. He said, yeah, he's got a lot of good scoop, got a lot of good sources. He said, breaking, Jadeveon Clowney, the Baltimore Ravens, is, quote, picking up steam per source. And I'm just going to be frank with you guys. I would absolutely love this signing. I never think it's a bad thing for a team to have a lot of good edge rushers. I don't think that at all. And if you look back to Jadeveon Clowney this past year, he had a fine season. Like, it wasn't anything of how he did in 2023 with Baltimore. Took a little bit less sacks. You know, he had 9.5 in his last season with Baltimore in 2023. But he was still fine. You got to remember, too, he was on a team in Carolina that had the worst defense in the history of football. They let up more points than any other team in the history of the National Football League. Now, it is a 17-game season. Those stats are a little bit skewed. But still, to have almost 6 sacks on that team when you're really their only good edge rusher, when you're really, it seems like, their only good player, that's not a bad season, especially for a guy who's been in the league this long. And to think about Baltimore possibly adding him back to this roster that's already got some pretty good pass rushers on it, just makes this defense all the more scary. What you thinking? Let me know down below. Should Baltimore sign Jadeveon Clowney? If you think they should, go ahead, give me a yes in the comment section. And if for some reason you kind of want him to pass, let me know by giving me a no. Frascella was not the only NFL insider to have a comment on this. George Schultz, almost exactly when the release happened, said Jadeveon Clowney should have a solid market, but just thinking out loud, he feels like a classic late off-season signing for the Ravens. He had a strong one-year stint there in 2023, finishing with 9.5 sacks. So it's not just Frascella, but it's Jordan Schultz as well. And now we're kind of sitting at the point that not even 24 hours removed from Carolina releasing Jadeveon Clowney, there are multiple insiders that mention Baltimore as an automatic possibility. Okay? Now there is something to consider, I will say. The room currently constructed for the outside linebackers, for the edge rushers, is a pretty crowded one. I mean, just take a look right now. You got Kyle Van Noy, Odafe Oweh, Tavius Robinson, David Ojabo, Malik Ham, Mike Green, Adisa Isaac, DeJuan Black. Now, obviously, not all of those guys are going to make the roster. I talked about this just maybe this past Sunday. I kind of forget. We do so many videos right here on the channel. Another reason you should subscribe. But we did a 53-man roster projection. I think this team is going to take 5 edge rushers going into the 2025 season. And these are the 5 I chose. These are the 5 I'm expecting it to be. Kyle Van Noy, Odafe Oweh, Mike Green, Adisa Isaac. And then I think they take Tavius Robinson over David Ojabo because of what he gives you a little bit more from the lack of injury standpoint and because his run defense is much, much better than Ojabo's. I do think that Clowney would take Robinson's spot. I think Tavius Robinson is a good player. But he's no David Ojabo. 3.5 sacks in 2024, a sack in 2023, decent amount of QB hits, a couple tackles for losses, couple tackles, 1 pass breakup. Like, when you're looking at those two side by side, I get it. Jadeveon Clowney is much older. But like every single person that's watching this video, myself included, the one hosting this video, would choose Jadeveon Clowney over Tavius Robinson any day of the week, especially because you already know how he fits in this culture. You already know how he fits with this team. You already know how he fits in this defense. And sure, it'd be a different defense. It'd be a different coordinator, Zach Orr, instead of Mike McDonald. But it's all a similar scheme. And we've seen it before. And I think everybody would like to see it again. Speak your mind for me. Do you want Clowney to be a Raven? Let me know by liking today's video. If you want to see the edge rusher back in Baltimore, back in the Charm City, let me know by hitting that thumbs up button. Coming up on today's show, I got more to talk about around Jadeveon Clowney, how he would fit in this defense, and my thoughts on the possibility of it happening. Before that, he was 24. We got a new 24 in town. It is Mr. Malachi Starks. And if you want his jersey, chatsports.com/Starks is the place you got to go to get it. 27th overall pick, the first-round selection for Baltimore. If we know anything about first-round selections for Baltimore, they typically work out pretty well. I got a feeling this guy's going to be a Baltimore Raven for a very long time. So this, you can just look at it as a solid investment. Think of getting a Malachi Starks jersey as buying Apple stock like 20 years ago, okay? The price is only going to go up. The stock's only going to go up. So take advantage while you can right now. Go to chatsports.com/Starks. Big thank you to our friends over at Fanatics for sponsoring today's video. You'll be able to find that link in the comments and description of today's video. So a lot of people say Jadeveon Clowney had a down year, right? That's what you hear. Only 5.5 sacks. Well, he pressured the quarterback at a higher rate than any edge rusher on this roster currently. 13.4%. And that was a step back from 2023 when he pressured the quarterback at a 16% clip. But that was better than Kyle Van Noy. That was better than Odafe Oweh. That was better than David Ojabo. Almost double what David Ojabo was, right? And we talked about it before. We're going to talk about it again. And we're going to keep talking about it until the 2025 season starts and things get different. But this team had 54 sacks last year. The sack percentage was 7.7%. Both of those top 5 in the NFL. They had 2 double-digit sack players, Kyle Van Noy and Odafe Oweh. So from a 20-foot view, seems like a pretty good year. Until you look a little bit deeper and you see that maybe this pass rush wasn't so great. Their win rate, 33%, that was 29th best in the NFL. Their run stop win rate, 29%, that was 26th best in the NFL. Quarterback pressure rate, 31.4%, that's 25th best. Time to pressure was dead last in the National Football League, okay? And Clowney had a big impact with Carolina this past year. Anytime he was on the field, the Panthers generated 5% more pressure than when he was off. Their pressure rate as a team was up to 30.2% compared to 25.6% whenever he was off the field. So I don't want to hear you saying in the comment section, Joey, this edge rusher group was fine enough last year. Joey, Jadeveon Clowney's getting old. He's not going to be that much of an impact, because I could not disagree more. You saw him have an impact on Carolina last year. You saw his pressure rate, even being like the best pass rusher on that team last year, was better than any pass rusher on Baltimore last year. And so now you think of what this team could look like. You look at the potential edge rushers in 2025 if you add Jadeveon Clowney to the mix. It is Kyle Van Noy, Odafe Oweh, Mike Green, and Jadeveon Clowney. Every single one of those guys has 8 sack potential. I'll take those 4 any day of the week. Okay? And the more edge rushers you add, the more that quarterback pressure rate goes up. Because when you have more threats on the field, less double teams, more consistency. And that's exactly what this team needs. And Jadeveon Clowney could help with that. Give me a number, okay? Down below in the comment section, what is your confidence level that the Ravens sign Jadeveon Clowney? Scale it for me 1 to 100 down below. 100, you're saying, I guarantee it's going to happen. 1, you're saying no shot at all that it ever happens. Let me know where you sit down below. I honestly sit right now at a pretty confident spot. I'd say 60%. 3/5. That's probably what I'm going with. I think that they know that he fits there, like I said before. They know that he excelled when he was there. And I don't think he'd be that expensive either. Everything, in my opinion, is pointing to this could be a possibility. Especially when you look at the Super Bowl last year and you saw the way that Philadelphia beat Kansas City was through constant pressure of Patrick Mahomes. And then you look to last year, to your loss against Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills in the divisional round of playoffs, and the way you lost that game is because Josh Allen had all day long to sit back, pick you apart, because you couldn't generate constant pressure. Jadeveon Clowney would help that. Jadeveon Clowney would add to that, and that would just add a little bit more to the trenches of this team. We're going to get on out of here. Appreciate you guys for watching today's video. Hope everybody has a phenomenal weekend. Get some rest. Enjoy time with friends, family, whatever you guys have going on, and we'll see you next time.